Let's see what people commented on my previous video.
Hell yeah!
I love Dillian. Oh, someone commented a game suggestion. Let's see what it is.
Can you make horror game where Kanye is the main monster and he sends out minions to come and kill you, and Kanye is the hardest one to beat, or you can't?
What the f- So I made a horror game. We're in an abandoned factory, and you're trying to survive Kanye West. I mean, wait. Kanye East.
Your goal? Easy. Just find 10 magazines. Yep, magazines. Because, reasons. They're hidden everywhere. In vents, behind barrels, probably under your bed. But Kanye is running around trying to kill you. But there's a way you could escape. I placed trash cans, and you could hide in trash cans. Because apparently a 6'5" fashion icon doesn't see you when you're in literal trash. And once you get all 10 magazines, Kanye gets a little extra angry. But we'll talk about that later. So first, I started measuring out the layout, making sure it's big enough to get lost in, but not big enough that players uninstall the game out of pure sadness. This part is super boring, so here's a random fun fact. The factory grid is big enough to fit 2 Kanye concerts, or your mom. So now it's time to finally bring in some factory assets. Easy, right? I just click import and I migrate the assets. It can't be that hard, right? Wrong. See, I had these beautiful factory models I found on Unreal, but UEFN said no. Import failed. Try crying. It said, what the hell does that even mean? I spent 2 hours trying to transfer them over. The result? Floating trash, missing material. One wall was just gone. Why is the door nebula colored? Why is the door? So yeah, after a while, I got them to work, but transferring factory assets from Unreal to UEFN, 2 out of 10. Would not recommend. Now that we got the assets, we can start building our first location. So the first thing I wanted to build is a little safe house that you could hide from Kanye in. So I grabbed this preset of a little house and then I started decorating the inside. And with that, I finished this little safe house location. It doesn't look good, but it doesn't look bad, but we have 7 days to finish this, so most of the locations are gonna look kinda crap. Our spawn point is literally just a prefab that I took from the factory and just placed it. I made a door animation, and boom, voila, we have it now. And for the next location, I'm gonna make a little tunnel and a little office space. So now we have a cool hallway and a little office space, or what's supposed to be an office. I'll just put props in here later. Okay, this is editing Martin. While I was editing this, I just saw this. I have to include it. It's so funny. So normally when I make my games, I listen to scary music or horror game trailer music, and since it's sped up like 10x, this is what it sounds like. So here's the little safe house with some props added. I think it looks good. Not much props, doesn't look bad, but doesn't look bad. And for the next location, I grabbed this very original preset from Fortnite, and I just added textures on it, and boom. But then I went to sleep, and that was the end of day 1. For day 2, I'll do a quick summary, but basically, I added a crap ton of props to the office to make it look better, and in the end it looked like this. Then I started building the storage area, which wasn't hard to build, it was just a lot of boxes, and then I added more props and it looked like this. So then I started building the final location, the factory, with all the machines and everything working. I also continued to build out the layout for the map, which made it look like this. So by the end of day 2, I had all the locations down, a little layout for the map. But for day 3, I started off by adding trash cans that you could use to hide from Kanye East. It wasn't too hard because Fortnite already had a trash can prop which you can use to hide. But there's one thing. What do you think is missing? What do you think seems off about this image? It's not dark for a horror game, and you have a flashlight when it's bright. Like, imagine you standing there with a flashlight when it's bright, and there's a monster. Like, bro, you're a 9 feet tall monster standing next to a potted plant in IKEA lighting. You're not scary. You just look like you're late for your shift at Spirit Halloween. So yeah, after I turned off the lights, it looks way better now. But now it's time to talk about the magazine system. So there's 10 magazines scattered around the map. Each one has a button hooked up to it. Each button has a prop mutator hooked up to it, which is hooked up to a tracker. So each time you touch a button, it tracks it. Minus this one array. Then the prop mutator disappears the prop when it happens. So very simple system. But we have one thing missing. Where is Kanye West? So now that I made Kanye East and the mini-A, we can move on to the next step, which is making a AI that moves on its own. And I'm gonna. So welcome to day 4. I am not kidding. This whole day was just me trying to figure out how to make this AI. So after watching How To Boss's tutorial on how to create custom AI NPCs in UEFN without using Verse, I thought I had it all figured out. Until I talk about the one minor detail that How To Boss didn't cover. How to make them move around the map on how you want to. So I had to do some more digging in Reddit and other dark places which you shouldn't go to. But I figured it out, and this is basically the system. So basically you have to hook up your AI character to these patrol path nodes, which are basically like little markers which he has to visit. And he goes on this path. And it sounds simple, but this crap took me so long to figure out that I was actually gonna like scrap this whole system. So in the end, it looked something like this. Come here, boy! And now it's time for day 5. I had basically everything finished. I just needed one thing to make the mini-A system. But I loaded into the map and this is what I saw. So could someone please tell me why my horror game lighting now looks like you're in literal heaven? So I have to spend the whole day fixing this issue and all the other issues that came with. Like what happened to Kanye? Why is he black as fuck? Yeah, all that I did was have to play download. What? What the? I'm gonna crash out. I fixed it. Let's go. After so much suffering, it's not triple game. It's not triple A game quality lighting, but it lights up the environment, so it's good. That's basically how I spent all of day 5. But now let's move on to what I did in day 6. So first thing I did was I made a little title screen which looks absolutely bomb. But there's one thing that's missing. There's like no music. It's just silent. So let me hit up my friend who will voluntarily give me music. Yo, can you make some music for my horror game about surviving Kanye West and mini-A's?
Please release my family.
So after he happily gave me some music, it now sounds more like... it has more gravitas. But now it's time for the thing you have all been waiting for. The surprise mini-A's at the end of the game.
Oh, no, 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 no.
And for the reveal of what the mini-A looks like, just don't ask any more questions. I'm shocked as much as you are.
What the hell?
So yeah, other than the few mistakes that happened during this,
Oh my. We'll delete the short.
so yeah, playtesting this was fun to say the least. But the last few things I did to the map was number one, making Kanye a crap ton faster. So now when he's chasing you, actually feel like you're running for your life. Like just look at this. Then I added some ambient music, some music for the special minis event, and it looks like this. And with that, the whole Kanye map was finished. If you guys want to play this map, all the stuff, let me just show it on screen for y'all. All of the links, all that you need is right here. Also, if you have any game suggestions, post it in the game suggestion tab in the Discord, which is linked in my YouTube profile. But that's all for today's video. I'll see you in the next one.
And I ponder